Hey, everybody, this is Dr. Jay Greenstein here coming to you live from the USA Capitol, Washington, D.C. I'm here with my good friend, Dr. Luke Nelson. Luke, what's up?
Jay, g'day, mate. From down Australia. It's a pleasure to be on here today, talking all things chiropractic down under.
I love it. I love it. Last time I saw you, man, you were in my hood, right? You were here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, had a great time. Great time last year over there, and you showed us a pretty spectacular symposium there with involving the cheerleaders, which we've been inspired to, and unfortunately we don't tend to have too many cheerleaders over here, so with our sports. So, but no, we had a great time over there, mate. You did a great job.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. It was a great event. I really enjoyed seeing everybody and being with everybody because we don't all get to hang out too often because we're literally all over the world.
Yeah, it's something I really look forward to every year in my involvement with FIX and now with SCA, even with SCA is getting together, once a year, whether that be at the FIX symposium or at our SCA national symposiums, and it's just really inspiring to be surrounded by your peers and just catch up with friends that you haven't seen face to face in a year or two, and people that are travelling on the same path as you, and everyone going towards the same goal. So it's it's always great to be.
No doubt, brother. So let's talk about that path because you've had a pretty remarkable path yourself. You are now the SCA president, right?
Yeah.
So tell everybody what SCA stands for. It's just, we don't want to miss a beat here.
That's right. But SCA stands for Sports Chiropractic Australia. So SCA has been around for a number of decades, actually, as early as I think the 80s, we're just sort of continuing to grow momentum with each year and each president as well that's taken over. So I'm very honoured to be instated at our symposium just a month or two ago now. So very excited.
So how did you go from sports chiropractor to president?
Yeah, so my journey, I guess, began straight after I graduated from uni, and I saw this FIX seminar advertising for a sports chiropractic module. Then I think it was lower limb was the first one that I took, and I thought, this looks pretty cool. I'd always had a pretty strong interest in sports, and always been pretty active myself, and so I went along to this FIX seminar and was blown away by the content there. I'm like, there was just a whole other world that I was exposed to in terms of this wealth of information, and that just sucked me in, and I think I might have only missed one FIX seminar since that time, and I think that might have been on our honeymoon. So I hope I can be excused for that one.
Yeah, you got an excuse for sure.
Yeah. So in sort of 15 years that I've been out, I've only missed the one. My involvement, I just obviously with attending the seminars, putting my hand up to volunteer and doing more things. Initially started off on our state board of SCA. So we've got in Australia, we've got split up into state boards or state committees, and so I helped out on the Victorian committee, which is a state where I live, and did that for a few years, and then stepped up into a new role, which was the education chair of SCA, and that was part of sort of gradual expansion that we've done over the years. And as part of that role, I was organising our national symposiums and also doing webinars and just other things like that. So I had that for a couple of years, and then came the opportunity to put my hand up to step into the president's role, and put two hands up in the air, and I was very keen to take that on, and here we are.
That's fantastic. It is my understanding that you guys are the largest national sports chiropractic organization in the world. Is that correct?
I think it is now, yeah. I think we've
taken
over from, I think we're just shy of 300, maybe at 300 now, actually. I think the last update I had about a month ago was at about just under 290. But we've had, obviously, a lot of people jumping on board now since our symposium, and a lot of student engagement now, which is great. So, yeah, look, we've done, my predecessors in that James Matthews, John Tan, and then Pete Garbett before him, who's now the FIX president. have done a great job in terms of just building that momentum and drawing people to us. So we're going from strength to strength at the moment, which is great. So it's always good as a president to take on when you're on the way up and not going down and trying to pick things up. So look, at this stage, my job is not that difficult. It's just keeping things going the way they have and taking it to the next level.
That's great. I'm super curious. What does it mean to you to be involved? Like, what has it meant for your life, your personal life, your professional life, to be involved? Because obviously it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours, a lot of thankless hours sometimes. But what does it mean? What does it mean to you to be involved? What has that meant to your life?
Yeah, well, it's I mean, firstly, it takes a very understanding spouse, and my wife Louise. I've got to thank her a lot for everything that she's put up with. But look, for me, it's always, and one of the reasons why I'm a chiropractor and in sports chiropractic is, I love to help people, and in clinic, that's helping people achieve what they want to, and so I guess that carries over into my involvement with organisations, is that it's helping people to do what they want to do as well. So it's helping in the sports chiropractic realm. It's helping other sports chiropractors get opportunities that we haven't had in the past. Involvement with sports. It's educating and upskilling other sports chiropractors as well too, so that they can be the best chiropractors that they can be and deliver the best care to their patients and athletes. So I guess it all comes down to, my why is helping people, because it gives me it gives me a good feeling of I guess of purpose and self-worth, I should say. So it's been obviously I'm a very organised person, so I find that way, I set aside certain times to do things, and that's how I can sort of achieve and the most that I can to maximise my time. But there is a lot of work, and all of it's done for nothing too. So it is it's a voluntary role, and as my involvement with Fix and also involved in our Sports Medicine Australia, so SMA, involved in state committee, and it's all volunteer, but I do it for the love and for the opportunity to help others.
It's great. Purpose and making a difference is why we're chiropractors. But I think an important result of all that hard work is the relationships that we've built. The friendships that I'm sure you have and the friendships that I have literally span the globe, and it's amazing. It's irreplaceable. At least for me, it is.
Yeah, 100%. It's some of the friends I've made, some fantastic friends on my journey through Fix and through SCA, and it's great. It's just expanding that network, and for patients that are travelling overseas to another country, I can always hit up and say, hey Jay, who's around, who's around on this state, and so it's been very useful for that. But even just hearing about others experiences in their countries, because we are quite different. In Australia, it is different to what it is over in the States in terms of the opportunities that we have here as sports chiropractors. I'd love to say that we've got the opportunities that you guys have, and that's something in my role as president that we're working towards, to get that involvement in elite sport. So there's always plenty to learn, but friendship. I'm a very sociable person, so it's always great to have a chat to lots of different people from different backgrounds.
For sure. So let's talk about Fix, because you mentioned Fix. So what's your involvement in Fix been?
Yeah, so Fix, I've been the finance chair of the Finance Commission for the last 3 years, and as part of that role, so my job is to firstly ensure the fiscal health of the organisation. So that involves monthly checking over income and expenses, and setting a budget, making sure that we're going to budget there. And plus, there's also requests for different expenses that myself, along with my commission, we're in charge of doing. So it's been a good role. Obviously, as a business owner myself, I had some understanding of finance, so that's certainly helped in carrying over to that. We're very lucky at the moment, actually, to just have this about a month ago have an accountant actually appointed to our commission, which is Charmaine
That's
Daniel,
great.
which is fantastic. So so she's also brought a whole nother level of experience there to the organisation, and something that I think will really benefit our commission and also fix as well.
That's awesome. What do you see as the biggest financial opportunity for the organization?
I think that we've got sponsorship is something that is sort of a really untapped resource there, and I know Graham's been doing some really good work in that and getting people thinking along those lines. I think that's something that we can really expand upon. We've got a pretty healthy education and with our ICSSP program, and Tim Stark's done some great work on that updating, which I'm really excited to. I've seen some of the stuff that he's done for that, and that's going to be awesome. It's something I wish I had when I was going through, which is always the case now. That the opportunities for the young docs and students these days is far superior than what I had back then. So that's that. We've got a great education program, so I think there's great opportunity in there's plenty of potential there for growth in Fix.
That's great. You mentioned Graham. I think it's important that we give a shout out to him. He's come on as a new executive or secretary general, I think is the exact title. Guy's done a phenomenal job. He understands people. He understands culture. He understands business. He understands organizational growth. Just got to give that guy a huge shout out.
Yeah. He's been great. I mean, he's really hit the ground running in terms of, I remember in the first few weeks, the number of emails that he was sending, and I'm just like, wow. I remember sending a message to Pete saying, this is fantastic, and it's actually has inspired me to implement a lot of these things with our organisation in SCA. I was fortunate enough to sit in the strategic planning session as an observer, that just blew me away with just how thorough Graham, or the background work that he'd done, and also Hayden, the facilitator as well. And that was actually something that I really took away, and we're going to be doing a similar thing with our organisation SCA. So that's obviously part of what Graham's instituted, and some of the changes that he's put in place after that, really taking the organisation to the next level and maturing the organisation. And I think SCA is probably not too dissimilar places. What Fix is. Fix is probably it would be more advanced than what we are, but I think there's certainly things that we'll be implementing in SCA that'll help our organisation mature as well.
That's really cool. So there's a lot of synergy between the SCA and Fix, and I think globally the goal is really to create as much synergy between the national sports councils and Fix as possible. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all going for the same goal. We all want to provide access and provide a level playing field for all athletes around the world to have access to chiropractic, and that's something that we are a bit behind over here in Australia in having those opportunities to what you guys have got over there in the States. But it absolutely is. I mean, it's Fix is representing SCA on the world stage, and then it's up to us to act on in our own country. And I think that the good saying is, think globally, act locally, and that's what we really want to do. We're doing the hard work here, but obviously knowing that whatever positive impact we have here can also carry over right around the world, and Fix can be the carriers and the messages of that.
That's awesome. So I want you to put on your visionary glasses right now, and I want you to paint the picture for the audience out there of your vision, your dream for SCA. What does that look like?
Well, SCA, okay. So some of the goals that we've sort of set ourselves is obviously increasing in membership, and we're just below 300, but I think 500 is easily achievable within the next couple of years. There's a huge amount of opportunities there with students, and also with other chiropractors as well. I want to see chiropractic involved at elite sport. So I would love to see and this might not happen in my term, but within the next decade, I'd love to see chiropractors involved with all elite teams in Australia. So at the moment, there's really no elite teams that have a chiropractor on staff. There's certainly chiropractors that do work with them, and we all treat a number of players that are playing with the teams at the elite level, but none that are technically on staff. The other thing I'd love to see is also chiropractic involvement at the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games. We recently had our Commonwealth Games here in Australia, the Gold Coast, and unfortunately, chiropractic was not a part of the services offered, which we were in discussions with, and there were some that were for it, but it never got passed, which is a real shame, and sort of a missed opportunity, but we tried. So that would be, in my vision, would be to see us become a regular part of the multidisciplinary sports medicine team, and there's no reason that we can't work side by side with these guys. And so one of my goals with as president of SCA is forming stronger allegiances and alliances with a number of the other big sporting medicine organisations in Australia. So the sports docs, the sports physios, sports podiatrists, sports nutritionists, all these groups here, and just showing that we can play as part of the team. I think one of the issues with and with chiropractic in general, really, and this is probably global, is that we have probably played by ourselves for and stuck in our own little circle for such a long time, that now we start screaming for opportunities, but we can only really blame ourselves in that regard, in that we haven't been open and welcoming to others, and so we can't expect to be included in their involvement. So that's something that I know is going to take time. We're fortunate that there's more doors being opened than closed in our face here at the moment in Australia. I mean, the Commonwealth Games, that was obviously wasn't great, but there's a few things that we've got in the pipeline just in the last 6 weeks actually that are really promising opportunities here. So we'll take those opportunities and keep grinding and I'm confident that we'll get there.
For sure. And you mentioned a really important word, relationships, and ultimately at the end of the day, it is always about relationships. So, I'm sure you guys are going to get there. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
You're going to say something else?
No. I was going to say, we've got the skilled chiropractors, and that was sort of one of the sad things about with the Commonwealth Games was that there were plenty of capable sports chiropractors in this country that easily could have taken on the roles there, but no, we've got the people. It's just a matter of forging those relationships.
You'll get there for sure. Okay, so 2 last questions for you. Question number 1, what advice would you give to a chiropractor who's not currently involved in either SCA or FIX about why they should be involved?
Yeah, so it's and I've given a few talks to universities and different student bodies, and some people will come up to me and say, well, I don't want to be a sports chiropractor. I'm like, well, that's fine. You don't have to be a sports chiropractor to be involved in our organisation. I mean, our organisation is all about providing evidence-based care to your patients, and so that's very much what we stand for in terms of our seminars and our webinars there as well. It's not just all about treating athletes. It's about treating your weekend warrior or even just your everyday person. I mean, your general population patient sprains their ankle. So how are you going to manage that? So it's not just for those that want to work in sports, but for those that do, I'd certainly urge you to become part of our organisation. It's really important that we form a very strong group and we all head in the same direction. One of the issues before in the past that we've faced in our countries is that we've had a lot of individuals doing some great work with sporting organisations, but then once they leave, that's it. They haven't had the the
succession planning.
Succession plans. That's exactly right. There hasn't been a succession plan. There hasn't been organisation involvement, and so that's been some real missed opportunities there. So we're very much informing a really strong bond with our members, and using that to take our whole profession forward, and provide those opportunities for the students and and generations of sports chiropractors to come. So yeah, whether you want to be a sports chiropractor or whether you just want to do just general chiropractic, we welcome you all on board. And I think we've got a really cool group of people. We're very open. There's no egos as well. And as we said, no dickheads policy. So yeah, we'd love to have you on board.
That's awesome, Luke. Okay, one last question, and this came straight from our good friend, Dr. Pete Garbett, who I like to call Scooby. I don't know if you know that story, but for another time over beers.
Yes.
Scooby. Yeah, like Scooby-Doo. Scooby.
Yeah, yes.
So the world wants to know, like, how do you get your hair to stay beautiful all the time?
Well, Pete would ask that because he's certainly lacking in that department. So I think there's a bit of hair envy there. But we might have to
totally.
We might have to pause the recording, mate, because it is a closely guarded secret but which we can also exchange over a beer maybe one time, because it looks like you've got a good head there yourself. So
sounds great, bro. We'll definitely do that next time I see you.
Yeah, awesome,
right, man.
Mate. Good.
Hey, listen, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Great talking to you. Great catching up. And thank you for those gems that you gave to the universe today.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jay. Cheers, mate. Good to see you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, mate. Bye.